Duel locations all over, Bruce rides to face the fearsome opponent. He spots a small faction ripe for conquest. The Takeda ally with Bruce on a grand scale. They swarm the land like a horde of locusts, but bugs, we are not, as we have opposable thumbs. Hello and welcome back to Shokuho and the Dreams of Legends submod. I was about to say shub. Yes, let's not do that. Anyway, as you can see, we're in the duel location. Yes, I actually noticed this just now. And I thought to myself, yes, we must go over. Because there are some amazing rewards that we can get from this. Now, one thing you may notice, I have spent a lot of money. Oh yeah, I've spent a huge amount of money actually, and the reason why is because I have been placing, well, a load of cash in our fiefs. We have quite a few fiefs actually. If I take a look at, nope, this will actually work. Okay, as you can see, we have 4 towns, if you can believe it. 4 towns. I'm actually really kind of flabbergasted by this, because usually if I'm going to play, you know, Bannerlord, Warband, whatever, they're not really going to be giving me that much most of the time. You know, sometimes I might get lucky and we might be able to, but in this case, we've been able to gain a significant amount. So much so that the castle, Kutsuki Castle right here, is literally giving us almost as much as a town. Actually is surpassing 2 of the towns, which is hilarious. Actually very surprised about that. Anyway, yeah, so basically I just put a huge amount of money in every single one of these fiefs here, and I want to show you this specifically. I want to mention it, because normally I don't do that. Normally I don't mention any of the kingdom management stuff unless you can, unless you're actually with me at the time when I go ahead and do that. So I just wanted to kind of mention that up front, just so that you can get an idea as to what I'm actually doing in, you know, my off-screen time. Otherwise, hello there, sir. I think you will find me a skilled combatant. Let's do this. Okay, so we have wooden weapons, and is he using... no, he's using a bow staff. Okay. Well, I should be completely fine here, right? I should be What is he doing? Okay, well, all I need to do is attack the head, right? So what I'm trying to do right here is I'm trying to angle myself so that I always hit the head. Because if I am hitting his torso, I will never do enough damage to be able to do this. So there you go. We actually managed to take him on. I would love to actually do more duel locations. There we go. Okay, let's actually see. Let's actually see what we managed to get. We got this. That is actually a very, very nice helmet. Let me just see here if I can actually... no. She's already got a good one. He has an okay one. Yeah, okay. Oh, really? Everyone's got basically something really good. Okay. Okay, so the question is, did we get anything else? Doesn't seem like it. I don't think so. Because obviously I'm looking for myth stuff, right? Myth stuff, fabled stuff, you know, that kind of thing is, you know, very, very, well, I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on one of those. That would be extremely nice. But, yeah, it doesn't seem like it right now, at least. No. All right. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be on the lookout for more duel locations. I'd also like to potentially go to... isn't there some place that I can do like a gacha thing? I keep forgetting where that is. Is it over there? No, I don't think it's at Kono Castle. I actually forget where it is. I think someone said it's in Tsushima Island or something like that. It's an island somewhere. But I don't know. I've never been there before, so... yeah, it would be kind of cool to go to the gacha area, because I've never done it before and I think it might be quite cool. Maybe we'll get our hands on some really, really nice items or something like that. But yeah, as you can see, there doesn't seem to be much that I can get my peepers on at the moment. Yes. Yeah, so unfortunately we might have to forego that, or I might have to find out where it is. Maybe someone knows out there where the Gacha Island is. But if you do, by all means, let me know. It would be very nice of you indeed. But if you don't, that's okay. That's fine. I'll try to find it myself. Okay, so otherwise, what we're going to do now is we are going to attempt a war declaration. Now the question is, which faction deserves our attention, shall we say? Ah, the Imagawa. Okay, Imagawa. Okay, yeah. This actually seems pretty nice. Let's do it. Okay. Gonna declare war against these guys. I have no idea where these fellows are or how close we are to them, but they have 1 town and 2 castles, so I guess that kind of makes sense. Let's have a look. Where are they? Oh, yeah. Okay, they're all the way down here. Okay, well, it's gonna take me some time. Alright, so here we go. This is our first siege against these guys. I don't even know who they are now. I forget. The Imagawa. There we go. Yes. Okay, so we're going to be fighting against them. This is going to be a little bit troublesome, I think. Maybe? I'm actually not entirely sure, because here's the town. Look at it. It's only got 405. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Unfortunately, these guys are the Tokai, right? They have the Hatamoto units. So we are actually... oh no. We are actually going to be facing them in actual combat now. In comparison to only... in comparison to basically attempting to use them as much as possible, because the Tokai are obviously really good. At least once they level up. I think that their first initial... the regular Hatamoto units... They're okay. I mean, I think they're pretty standard, solid characters. I don't know whether they have higher than average stats than other tier 4, tier 5 units. I feel like they're about the same, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. And otherwise, we are just going to try our very best here to, well, first of all, what I want to do, yeah, so these are the fires right here. Let me actually just... yeah, I of course would run into these guys. Is this the fire right here? Someone said that all I need to do is shoot through this. Is this one of them? Yeah. Okay, so shoot through this. Ah, there we go. It actually worked. Wow, okay. Thank you so much for letting me know, because I was like, what? How do I do this? You know? So I appreciate that. Basically what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to set this on fire. I'm trying to set the tower on fire if I can. Not sure how that really works, because I'm firing it, and you can see here that I am indeed using fire arrows, but I'm kind of a bit perplexed as to how I'm supposed to... Do I just need to fire a huge amount of these things, or what? Because it feels to me like that could be a huge waste of time. I don't know, it feels like a huge waste of time to me right now, but... Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm going to be lucky? I don't know. It doesn't feel particularly good right now. How did they do it before? I have no idea. How did my guys do it before, where they set this thing on fire? I have no clue. See, now that's the problem, you see? I don't know. Maybe it's because there are just not enough of us? Oh, look, now it's on fire. Are you serious? Okay, well, that's a little bit too late, isn't it? Yeah, that is a little bit too late. And we are going to lose quite a few troops because I'm not in here, you know, very early on. I am getting absolutely massacred, though, I gotta say. I'm getting shot to pieces here. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of that. As you can see, I have gone back to the Nodachi just because it is just a better weapon, unfortunately. I don't know, I could try to level my polearm to 275, but I think that's probably best leveled up in a field battle. So what I'm going to do is, of course, I'm going to continue using our Omiyari as much as we possibly can in a field battle situation, but when it comes to sieges, I think that the Nodachi is just way too good, right? It feels way too effective for us to say no. So we're just going to use that. Generally, I do feel as though this is... I mean, look at how much damage we're able to do here, and I'm very, very scarcely unable to deal damage when we want to do it. You know what I mean? There's always a little bit of damage that we can eke out anytime we want. Look at that. I can just do damage whenever I like, in comparison to the polearm, where I did feel a little bit like I had to be in a specific location to be able to inflict that damage. You know what I mean? I had to... How did I die? Oh, I got shot in the face by a gunner. Alright. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe they had my number like that. Where were they? Were they right behind us right here? Yeah, I guess they were right behind us right here. Oh, well, never mind. I guess that's how it goes, isn't it? Yeah, that's how it goes. Let's see if my forces are actually able to even do this, because we only have 180 or something like that. The enemy has 300 or so. So we've already lost 100 troops. Do I have to retreat? Do I actually have to retreat here? I'm actually kind of shocked by this. Yes, I think I did have to retreat. Okay, let me actually just see here, because this is going to be a problem. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an issue here. I'm going to have to do a little bit of recruiting. There we go. Going to lose 21 morale. That's okay, though. I think, at least for the moment, I basically just need to try and... This is really harsh, actually. This is really harsh. It just goes to show, right? Just goes to show, if I die in these situations, that is a very bad situation to be in, as you can clearly tell. I mean, look at what happened, you know? Obviously, we do have a very, very nice... Oh, wow, we've got two allied armies coming to help us right here, and indeed, they are going straight on in. The question is, do I want to go in with them, or do I just want to leave them to it? I'm actually going to leave them to it, to be honest. Yeah, we are going to leave them to it, and we're going to go and attempt maybe something at the town, because they're easily going to take this. They're going to take this so easily, it's not even going to be funny. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and get into a field battle with this guy, because I'd like to maybe... I mean, I could level up my polearm skill, obviously, as I talked about just now. So I can level up my polearm skill. We're also going to get preventive medicine to activate, because being in any fight whatsoever will get us that preventive medicine activation, which is extremely useful for us. And, oh dear, it's nighttime. Okay, well, I'm not a big fan of that, but hopefully that will help us. Hopefully that will help us a little bit. I'm just basically telling our forces to charge here. There is no reason for me to use any kind of strategy. Unfortunately, I do quite appreciate using some strategy sometimes, but when it comes to this, well, it's not going to be necessary, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, as you can quite clearly tell, the enemy... They don't really have much that they can do to us right now, and let me just see. Nice little assassination right there, and maybe we can... Yep, there we go. Let's just ride through the enemy's ranged troops. Try to inflict as much damage as possible. And I do have to be a little bit careful about the infantry, because of course they do have polearms, or at least quite a few of them do. And yeah, you could see here, we've already basically panicked them so much that they are not really going to be able to do too much. They'll basically be done at this point. And yes, they do have these Tokai Hatamoto units as well, as you see. I mean, obviously they do. That is the kind of, well, that is the faction they are. So yeah, but look at how simple that was. That was, yeah, that's the reason why generally when I don't use strategy, most of the time it's going to be something like this, where we just take so few casualties. If we even take casualties at all, that it's just not worth it. It's just not worth the time invested. Anyway, we can let this guy go or take him prisoner. I'm just going to let him go for the moment. And look at this. This is kind of amazing, actually. One of the greatest things that we're going to get our hands on now is a bunch of Hatamoto units, and we're not really going to even have to struggle for them either. So this is really, really fun, actually. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to continue onward. And we're going to see... Yeah, well, there's not really anything that I really need here. And yeah, so we're going to go back to the town. Should I go back to the town? Should I go to the castle? Let's actually have a look. Oh yeah, there's way too many in the castle right now. So yeah, we're going to make our way back here. I'm kind of hoping that my medicine skill is going to do something. Is my medicine skill actually going to do something? I don't know. I kind of feel as though it's lacking a little bit. Unfortunately, there are a lot of vassals in here as well. That's kind of bad, but yeah, they're going to be able to take Kakegawa Castle relatively simply. Let's see if we can get into a battle with these guys. What about this one? Yeah, maybe. Maybe we can get into a battle with him. There we go. Nice. Okay, so, well, shall we say with her, in fact. With her. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. 95. All right. So she's got 95. The thing is, it doesn't even really matter about whether she has only 95 or not, because she does have the potential for Hatamoto units. And while, as I say, they are not the most amazing when it comes to stats, at least initially, if they have, or should we say, if she has some higher tier level, then it's going to be a little bit problematic potentially. But yeah, we're just going to move our forces ahead. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to tell them to charge. I'm going to tell them to charge here, because if I tell them to hold position, they're just going to get stuck in the village somewhere, and it's going to be pretty terrible. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually get shot by a gunner in this one. I have a bad feeling about it for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I think that might be the case, but let's just see. Maybe we'll be okay. Maybe these guys are not really going to focus on me that much. As you can see, they don't appear to really be worried about me at all, which is a bit of a mistake on their part. She's actually using a bow. Okay, that was her mistake as well. Oh, that was very, very simple, wasn't it? Yeah, we just absolutely slaughtered her instantly. 420 damage or something like that. Yeah, that's a lot of blazing it, isn't it? Oh, dearie me. Okay, yeah, so otherwise, I think we are actually fine. I don't think we really have anything to worry about here. I think I can probably just tell my... Whoops. Oh, no. Did I literally just retreat? Yes, I did. Oh, of course. That's what happens when you speed up too fast, right? That's what happens. Oh, well, she only has 31 left, so we can just immediately finish her off. And we'll just let her go. I don't see a real point in keeping her around or anything like that. See, as you can see, she did have some higher tier Hatamoto units. I mean, you see the difference here, right? Look at this. This guy has 240 in polearms, right? 240 in polearms, and the regular has 150. So that's a 90 skill increase, which is really quite dramatic. And if you were to take a look at, for example, this tier 4 unit, they have 135 in two-handed. So the base unit of the Tokai, the Hatamoto, they have 150. So they have 15 more skill than the Kinai Odachi Samurai, which are tier 4 units after all. So you would expect the Hatamoto units to be slightly more powerful, which they are, of course. So I do think that I think that makes sense. And indeed, I do think that it is very nice to see them actually be somewhat useful. And be not as powerful as you might think until they're leveled up, of course. That's the main thing I'm trying to draw attention to here, because obviously we don't want to have... I mean, personally for me, I wouldn't want to have a unit that is a base unit, a base tier unit, being exceptionally powerful, because it is... well, that's just imbalancing, you know, that's just poor balancing. But the way it is right now, you need to take these guys and you need to level them up, and they take quite a... I'd say at least, I feel like they take quite some time to level up. So even if they do level up at some point, it's going to take them a while, and then when they do level up, if they manage to survive that long, well, they have the potential for them to die as well. So it is it's kind of harsh, right? It's kind of harsh. Anyway, we're going to start this siege right here. Obviously we did actually eliminate... Oh wow, she was... Wow, we just already eliminated her and now she's back. Look at how fast that was. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so yeah, vote for the owner. It's not going to be me. No, of course not. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm actually very pleased that it isn't me for once, because we're getting way too many of these fiefs. I have literally, what? How many do I have? I think I have 10 fiefs or something like that, which is way too many as it is. But yeah, let's get some brazier. Oh, never mind. Okay, apparently we're already getting joined by our allies, which is kind of exactly the reason why I wanted to leave them over there, because I didn't really want to go back into the castle and potentially get shot in the face again. I'd rather do a really, really nice little town siege here. Okay, so we do have a little bit of assistance here as we are now ready to go in. And this is going to be, I'd say probably easier than the castle. I know. I feel like that's quite funny. There does seem to be quite a bit of that actually happening in Shokuho, which I actually appreciate a great deal. I feel as though some of the town layouts are easier to deal with than the castles, and well, to be fair, sometimes you have these... I guess it kind of depends. It depends on the layout itself. Like, for example, this particular layout of town, I personally prefer this over the other one. You know, the one that... You know what I'm talking... You know which one I'm talking about, right? The one that we have where we go up that hill and there's a little twisty-turny road, and then we get into that other section where there's a bunch of archers shooting at us from two different directions, and yeah, we have to kind of clear out the archery nest and everything. That is the... In my opinion, at least, that is the most difficult siege layout for me personally to deal with. So yeah, I'm actually very, very pleased that we don't have to deal with that right now. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. We could still be facing some pretty harsh opposition here. Let's see if I can do something. I am gonna see if I can just go along here a little bit. Hello there. Nice. I'm kind of hoping for headshots, but I'm not getting particularly lucky with that. Thank you very much. Okay, getting a little bit unlucky. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Can I get some more? Yes, I might be able to. Wow. Yeah, being able to shoot through these little areas here is absolutely shocking. There we go. Get him. Nice. And what else do we have? Do we have anyone else taking their positions? Yes, we do. And nice. Maybe we can get another one. Another one here. Thank you very much. It's actually super nice to have that perk that provides us with 50% increased ammunition. Really makes a big difference. I can't see anyone, actually. I can just see this guy. I feel like this is kind of inefficient, to be honest, what I'm doing right now, but I don't know. I'm not sure what else I can do to really help our forces. I really shouldn't be going up here first, by the way. I don't see anyone, though. Okay, let's go for it. Alright. This might be... this is ill-advised. This is very ill-advised. I shouldn't be doing this, but why not? Okay, why not? Let's do it. Yeah, this is okay, I guess. I mean, I need to... Okay, we need to go here. Let's try and... yeah, okay. Getting shot from every single direction. Of course we are. There we go. Oh, hello. Yeah, there we go. Hatamoto units. And as you can see, they do massive damage, even with their Yaris in a infantry situation. Of course they are. Of course they are. As expected. Okay, yeah. So if we can just manage to do a bit more damage, I don't need to really... you know, for me personally, I don't really need to survive the entire siege, but I really do need to contribute quite a hefty amount to reduce the chances of our own forces having to retreat at some point in the future. That's kind of the thing that I want to try to prevent, if I can. That's kind of the reason why I'm putting a bit too much pressure on myself potentially about this. Yeah, I'm trying to deflect that, but I don't know. I still don't know how the deflection thing really works, but oh well. I guess it doesn't matter too much. Okay, yeah, so we can go here. Okay, yes. Alright, so I basically went in the wrong direction. And now I'm stuck. Okay, well, that's great. Let me just go around the other way. Ah, okay. I can't believe that I went all the way around there, and then it just turned out to be a dead end. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so we'll probably try and see if I can find more enemies, if my sense of direction is correct. And it does seem to be okay now. And then we just need to do damage to the gate. Okay, hello. Okay, we got a lot of people trying to escape here. This is probably not the best idea for you guys to literally just be running up against the door, but okay. I mean, I guess I understand them. They want to get in there, and their friends are not letting them, so I guess I'll just take care of them while I can. And I believe this is, yeah, this is a done deal already. There's pretty much a handful left. There's, well, they decided to basically defend really early in the siege. They were all kind of standing at the very beginning of the siege instead of coming all the way back here and consolidating themselves, which I guess I understand, because for me personally, I'm not really the best at siege defense. You know, I can get a couple of kills, you know, I can get quite a few kills in siege defenses, but the strategy of the siege defense, that's a little bit of a different issue for me personally. One of the most vivid memories I have of a siege defense, which, let's face it, was a very long time ago, was me and Brittenwalder. I've actually mentioned this a number of times, I think, in the last month. I think I mentioned it maybe twice, I don't know. Anyway, the point is, Brittenwalder, there was a siege where I was doing it. I can't remember where it was, but I think it was in Wales somewhere, in Brittenwalder, and the siege took me like an hour and a half or 2 hours to complete, just because we were defending against an insane amount of troops. And they had these really, really small... I mean, you know how Warband is, right? You know, so they've got like 1 ladder or 2 ladders or something like that. And they all have to come up that one place. And I think there was a gate as well, because obviously in Brittenwalder they had slightly more advanced siege mechanics than you would expect normally in Warband. So very, very cool. Anyway, I am gonna be letting these guys go. Yeah, but anyway, about that siege, obviously it takes a long time. That's what I was trying to say. You know, it takes a hugely long time, and we were able to get huge amounts of kills in that. But of course, in Brittenwalder, you also have the addition of bleed effects. So I at one point took damage from something, and then I eventually bled to death, as far as I remember. So yeah, that was great. Anyway, we can just take all of this, thank you very much, and then we can make our way onward. Yes, there we go. Okay, so we've actually taken it. That's really, really cool. And now all we need to do is take 1 castle, and that is it. Just 1 castle, and then we are we've eliminated yet another faction, which would be pretty fantastic, because being able to, as I've said before, consolidation is extremely important, just purely because it allows your own faction to have much safer trade routes, much safer ways of running around and everything, being able to eliminate bandits that much easier, you know, stuff like that. And in general, I feel like that does make a big difference. Okay, so let me see here. 10% accuracy, 5% gun damage. No. We're going to just go for careful besieger here, because plus 7% hit points to range siege engines. I don't really care about that, to be honest, but the minus 20% of food consumption is slightly more effective than the other thing, because the other thing is pretty much just gun damage, and we don't really use guns with our faction at the moment. Oh, now this is exactly the kind of sight that we want to see. This kind of, well, ow, okay, that arrow completely hit my horse. That's not very nice of them, is it? No. Anyway, the amount of very cool visuals that we have going on here is absolutely amazing. Look at how cool this is. Fire arrows in the dead of night. That is exactly what we want to see. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so what we're going to do is I am going to, of course, just let everyone do their thing. We're going to switch to our Nodachi. I'm going to be very, very prepared to do what we need to do here once the battering ram does its thing. I'm not going to go up one of the ladders this time around. I'm going to take a slightly different tact. Usually I like to go up the ladders, but this time we're going to go in through the battering ram, and we'll see what we can do. Usually this is going to be kind of good, because we're right next to enemies immediately, and we don't really need to worry too much about the ladder giving ourselves, you know, way too much of an opening and getting ourselves killed that quickly. Now I am going to be going by myself up the road here. Probably not the best idea, but there isn't that many people here, and we might be able to affect things a little bit more if I come here by myself. Because if I can destroy this gate, it means that the enemy cannot shoot at our forces that much. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at how fast that was. That was extremely, extremely quick. Okay, so the question is, can I do this? Yeah. Yeah, it's more difficult. It's definitely more difficult when there are so many enemies in the same place, because they're all going to try to block, and they're all blocking in different directions. And so if you're trying to do, you know, horizontal slashes like I was just there, most of them are going to get blocked just because of the way that the slash through mechanic works. Anyway, we are completely eliminating every single thing here, and that is going to make our forces have a very, very easy time. And look at my HP. My HP is still actually really, really good. I'm kind of surprised about that, but yes, let's hope that I don't get shot in the face by a gunner. But I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Ow, okay. Getting shot by a bunch of archers. This guy is basically just blocking. Yep, blocking. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, getting shot in the face is not great, but, you know, we've got enough HP to kind of absorb that at least a little bit. I actually have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Is this way? Is this the way? I actually think so. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, yeah, and we're just going to destroy this. Just going to let those guys run away if they want to. And we're just going to do damage to the gate here. Or not, as the case may be, because apparently there was someone on the other side that was actually blocking or whatever, and it was actually blocking for the damage that the gate was doing, or the gate would have taken. That's quite funny. Alright, let's do some damage if we can. Okay, there we go. Nice, 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 nice. Every single one of them is blocking. Absolutely perfect. Look at them. Look at them. They are literally blocking from every single direction. Actually, very, very difficult to get that going. One thing you're going to need to do, though, is obviously you're going to have to utilize the overhead slash a lot more. I'm not really doing that much because I'm bad at it. I'm not a big fan of the overhead with the Nodachi because it, or should we say, it's more like a Bannerlord thing, I think. It's more like a Bannerlord thing because of the angle. It's got a special angle that you have to aim for to really make that work. And I'm not very good at it. So that's the reason why I generally tend to stay away from the overhead, at least in these kinds of situations. Because I like to, first of all, obviously slash through a bunch of enemies. And the horizontal is the thing that really does that. The overhead is a little bit, as I say, a little bit difficult to use. Kind of a bit more inaccurate with that. In this situation, of course, I'm going to do an overhead. But yeah, most of the time I will try to do horizontals. Let's try and kill this. Yeah, there we go. Everyone's dead. Can't see anything, unfortunately. But yeah, that's okay. We did kill them all. And let's see, where do we have more enemies? I actually don't see anyone. I guess up here? Yeah, there's 170. Wow, okay. There's a lot coming our way very, very soon. They're going to close the gates, of course. Are they? No? Not going to close the gates. Okay. Interesting. Not sure why they wouldn't close the gates there, but okay, that's fine. I'm going to try to do as much damage as possible here. We really need to stay alive in this situation, if at all possible. That would be wonderful. If we could, then we will be inflicting massive damage. Can I get around? No, I can't go around. There's no way. Not in a million years. Okay, I will do overheads here, just purely because that's the only thing that will really work. I'm not sure what our forces are trying to do right now, but I guess we'll try our best, whatever it is. I guess we just try to we want to try to get past, I guess. That's kind of what we're doing. Okay, that actually worked quite nicely. Now we can do some damage. Oh yeah. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There we are. Okay, and that's it. I believe that is indeed a victory for us right there. We actually ended up killing 149 and counting, which is okay. That's pretty nice, you know. That's not too bad. I didn't really feel like we were in a bad situation here. I felt like we did have pretty nice freedom to do whatever we wanted most of the time, because we didn't really come across that many gunners. I feel like the majority of their units were pretty much just infantry for the most part. Obviously a lot of archers here and there, but yeah, most of the time was mostly infantry, and I believe that's it. Yep, there you go. There's the victory, and that is another faction completely eliminated. And 180 from Bruce right there. Very nice. Good work. Good work, sir. Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so let's make our way in here. Just kill this. There we go. And we are going to be rescuing a guy. And let's just see what else we have available here. Yes, we have some more of these Hatamoto units joining us. And that is pretty much all I'm going to take, because we do have 83 prisoners at the moment. It's going to take a bit of time for us to convert all of them, but eventually they will all join us. And there you go. Yes, they've been eliminated. Fantastic. So there you go. That is really, really nice. That was a nice, very swift victory against a small faction. And that's kind of what you want to do if you are wanting to, you know, conquer the entirety of the map and have, you know, very small little incremental sort of improvements here and there. Make sure that you attack these smaller factions and eliminate them as fast as possible, because otherwise you're going to eventually have a situation where these larger factions will eventually cannibalize the smaller ones. And if you're not one of the ones to do that, then you may be in a spot of bother. It might be a bit of a problematic situation. Anyway, let's go over to the duel location. All right, here we go. This is the duel location. Let's see who we have to fight here. And, well, from my perspective right now, I do feel as though... okay, we got one of these. All right, okay, so I was kind of hoping... okay, now, I'm gonna be honest here. I have seen some items that I would be very, very interested in getting my hands on. Mostly the Tengu stuff. I don't know whether I have the opportunity to do that. I don't know whether there is anything, acquirable by normal means, or whether the items specifically are just equipped on something else, as in maybe they're equipped on some kind of mythological opponent or something like that that you are going to encounter at some point in your journey throughout the land here. I obviously don't know whether that's the case. So I guess we'll have to figure that out as time goes on. Nice new horse for us right there. I actually have no idea what we just got. What did we actually just get? Because I have no clue. It doesn't feel like I actually got anything. It would be cool if it actually told me what I got. But yeah, I don't know. It just said you got some items. You just got some items. I'm assuming it wasn't anything super amazing. Let me actually just go here. I'm not seeing any items. I got a legendary Yari right here, but I highly doubt that was it, right? Maybe it was a Masterwork Stealthy Wakizashi or something like that. No, I don't think so, right? No, I don't think so. Okay, so yeah, apart from that, we have... Let's have a look. Anything else? Do we have any armor that's really, really good? Wait a minute. Wasn't there something here that was like an upgrade? Yeah, maybe this? Yeah, no. This is actually not as good, as you can see right here. The leg armor is really good on our current armor here, and that's kind of what I'm going for there. Yeah, the raw value of our armor at the moment is far exceeding what we can have in our inventory here. Anyway, okay, yeah, so it seems like we didn't really get much from that, unfortunately. I'm always looking out for dual locations. If you have any dual location suggestions, by the way, where you actually know for a fact that there's a really, really cool opponent or something like that, then by all means let me know. Otherwise, it is going to take me quite some time to get over to ones that are super, super far away, of course, but, you know, I'm okay to do that. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.